Here we're going to tie just the basic fur ant. First thing we're going to do is just lay down a base of thread. Now we need to build up the back end of the body with some black dubbing. You want to use a very fine dubbing that you can twist very, very tight. For this I'm just using a dry fly dubbing, a superfine dubbing. Try to twist it on as tight as you can. And what we're going to try to do is make a ball at the back end of this hook here. Try to make it look like one of the segments to the body of an ant. The trick is by using either your saliva to get it tight, or you can use dubbing wax. That does a good job as well. So I try to kind of build up each end first, and then I pile on dubbing right in the middle. Depending on the size of the fly, depends on how large you make the dubbing ball. There we go. Once you're happy with it, you can take your thread right to the middle of the hook here. Now you're ready for your hackle. You can use a black hackle or a dark Grizzly. I just kind of measure it out there to make sure I've got the right size. I'm ready to tie it in. I'm just going to tie it in right there at the middle point. I'm going to take my thread forward a little bit. I'm just going to take that hackle, this one's not really cooperating. I'll try here again. Might not have stripped off enough of the stem. Strip off a little more. There we go. That way when I make my first wrap, none of the fibers splay out. I want that first wrap to go on clean. There we go. And you just do a couple of wraps, maybe 3 or so. Capture it. Trim out the excess. Take your thread forward. Now you're ready to do the same exact thing with the dubbing to make the front segment of the body. Try to dub it on there nice and tight. Trying to minimize the amount of fuzz that you have. What I actually do too is I'll dub this front segment all the way to the eye of the hook. And when I whip finish, I'll actually whip finish behind it, in between the hackle and the front segment of the body. I'll show you here when we get to it. And I usually build the front section as close to the size as the back one. I want them equal in size, but it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it's hard to get it exact, but you try to get close. And depending on the kind of ants that you're imitating, you can change the color of the dubbing. You don't necessarily have to do black. You can do cinnamon, you can do red, you can do one body segment red, you can do one body segment black. You can kind of customize it to whatever type of ants that you're seeing. So here when I whip finish, I'm actually going to whip finish right behind that dubbing ball. And that's all there is to the fur ant. Pretty simple little fly to tie. Works great on brook trout, and it's a late summer fly for any rainbows or brown trout in spring creeks or western rivers. And that's the fur ant.